Welcome to the show, Apple Juice Queen, with me, your host, Bishop Briggs. I am just outside the Moxie Birth Center, and I don't want to shock you, but this is someone that has seen me naked. Yes, everyone gather around for my midwife, Jessica Diggs. We are going to dig into home births, any misconceptions, tools for postpartum, and how she got started in all of this, which is really, really fascinating. I can't wait for you to chat with her. She just has the best aura in the world, and let's go chat to her. Something that was really fun in researching for our meeting today, the fact that you have been at 650 births.
Yeah, probably a little bit more than that now, yeah.
Which is so crazy because you made me feel so special, and I guess I'm not. So that was great to find out. But my first question really was, what makes you still feel so inspired to do this work? I mean, reading that was like, wow, that's more than the 10,000 hours. And I was just curious, what still makes you inspired to do this?
Yeah, I think the running theme in my entire career, because I started at 19, actively not wanting to have children, and still don't actually, but I was inspired by the choice and the options that people have for their birth. And even more now than then it's relevant to offer people options for their reproductive health.
Yes.
And that kind of keeps me going. And it's like, I don't care what choice you make. You can want a hospital birth, you can want a home birth center. Mm-hmm. You having an option is the thing that kind of drives and kind of inspires me.
Yes.
And then I also, people think it's the babies on the other side that keeps you going. And it's like, kind of, but they're not mine. It's seeing women come into how badass they are in the moment, and so them dig deep and push the baby out and keep going when I would have given them that was hard, a long time ago. And then seeing people do it over and over again is wild and beautiful and keeps me ready to see another person do it.
Yes, and you say this, but I feel like I need this on the record. You say that the second time you give birth is easier.
Typically, yes.
Okay, so
statistically, it is so much shorter.
Okay.
Your first baby has created space that the second one doesn't have to do. Your pelvis is forever changed from that first birth.
Yes.
And so they don't have to move as many bones and tissue out of the way. They can just get down and get out. Right. And it's just easier. And I think there's another piece to it is mindset. You're not as scared.
Mm-hmm.
There's not as much unknown.
Yes.
That to the point where second timers happen on accident in the car and in the hospital lobby because you wait at home a lot longer. You're it's not, I don't need you yet. I don't need you yet because it's not as intense as the last one was.
Right.
It gets worse.
Yes.
So you're it's fine.
Yes.
So it does. It is usually typically easier for most people.
It also fascinated me how in between your contractions, obviously at the end it's a whole different experience, but at the beginning, in between contractions, you are with it, you're not in pain. And I do remember distinctly being this is a crazy life experience we're having, which is absurd to intervene with that. Anyways, I just, that part of it was really fascinating to me, that your body goes from completely intensified feelings and discomfort. And as you told me, pressure, I feel like that was a great reframing of it not being pain, but it being pressure. Anyways, that was just a little talk I just wanted to have there.
Yeah.
What's a piece of knowledge, if you had one piece of knowledge to give new moms, what would it be?
My big piece would be, I would say, twofold. It's going to be building your community. We're not designed to do it by ourselves, and we have this weird expectation that me and my partner make this cute little baby and we're just going to thrive after this, and we were never intended to do it on our own. Never intended.
Yes.
And so as much as you can building your community, unfortunately we've lost the art of community.
Yes.
So you have to be very intentional who you let in the space, so you're not hosting people
Yes.
who's just there. But in that, I'm your community should include another mom who you kind of admire or
I love that.
who's good at honoring whatever you choose, because moms feel very strongly about the choices they make.
Yes.
And rightfully so. It's very valid. No one wants to grapple with the fact that they did something wrong with their child. No one wants to. So, like, they dig deep on, I did this bit, it was perfect.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
you did.
Of course. Yeah.
So getting a mom who can hold space for you and your choices,
Yes.
but no one's going to get it like another mother.
Mhm.
No one. Not even your partner.
And I think that's so valid. I wish that there was more discussion surrounding the disconnect with your partner when you first have a baby. I feel like it's not really spoken about, but it completely changes the dynamic.
Yes.
Completely.
Yeah. It's spoken about, but only after the end, because it's like the stat is like most marriages end in the first few years of the child being born.
See, I didn't know this.
It's a wild
for the best.
stat.
I didn't know, but I know you're like
Yeah.
white knuckling it. I mean, it was just because they're. I think the grace side of it is like they have no way of understanding, you know, what you're going through, but they definitely can do things.
Yes.
I feel like they can make that house spotless.
Yes.
They can make meals. There are things they can't understand.
Yes. Not to give them the grace, but in their defense, some of the partner dynamics that come up when you have a baby or in any high stress situation
Yes.
are already existing. We often overlook them or we overcompensate.
Yes.
We're like, oh, he's not going to do dishes, so I just do them. And
yes.
we do it a lot, and most of the time it doesn't bother us because we have the time, the mental capacity to do so. And then you have the kid, and you're sleep deprived, and you don't have the time, the mental capacity, and you're like, I don't understand why this doesn't pop into your head.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Why would it?
Yes. Yes.
Like, so I always tell people, more so when I was a doula, because I think it helped better space for people when I was in that role emotionally and from a dynamic standpoint than I do now as a clinician.
Yes.
But I'm like, look at their strengths and look at their weaknesses.
Yes.
If they've never fed you guys pre-pregnancy,
Right.
you're gonna starve postpartum. Like, they're not just gonna learn how to cook.
Yes.
You're gonna starve.
Yes. Yes.
So it's like, look at that, look at their dynamics, look at your dynamics, and then really think through, like, what are non-negotiables that need to be done for us?
Yes.
And I always give the example, I could live in my filth. I'm like, I love just, like, being.
Yes.
I don't need it tidy.
Yes.
I don't need to do the dishes before I go to bed.
Yes.
Partner needs to do the dishes before we go to bed.
Right.
And sometimes it's going to be harder to do in the immediate postpartum period.
Yes.
So it's like actually having someone to do our dishes so that their mental health is okay.
Yes.
And there's just a difference of, I don't care about that, but
Yes.
having good, easy meals for me is going to be easy. Like, so figuring out what actually is important to you as individuals.
Yes.
That's going to be hard for you to do for yourself when you first have this baby.
Yes.
Reduces a lot of the bickering.
There is this thing, and you would know better than me, but that basically, like, in ancient times, sort of like during the caveman times, women were able to, like, hormonally, we hear the cries and we go to them. And with the men, they slept, they hunted for the family, they went out, and, like, their priority was sleep so that they'd be sharp for hunting. I think a source of resentment and confusion for a lot of women was, or is, the baby crying and them being able to sleep. Is there, like, a distinct hormonal thing that happens when you give birth that, like, creates a distinct attachment to your child?
Yes. Our life goal is to procreate.
Whoa.
And it's just like from most, like, insects, as many times as they can have more insects, it's like they're doing something.
Yes.
Humans a little different, but once you have them, it's like you must stay alive and I must do everything, and your body responds in that way. You just don't sleep as well. You don't stop thinking about them. Even if you're breastfeeding, prolactin also has that. It has this, like, it has a way of, like, making the mundane tolerable, like the day-to-day.
Whoa.
And, like, that's one of its functions. So yes, it's a hormonal component. And then just, like, a biology component. It's like, this egg was so expensive physiologically that I have to make sure it survived, where creation of sperm is not.
Right.
Like, literally, it's like, it's not.
Wow.
You're going to keep procreate for forever. And you're like, no, I have to make this make sense.
Yes.
Yeah.
So something that I experienced at the after giving birth was I started hemorrhaging. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
The way to say it. Started hemorrhaging, and there was this energy in the room, and it actually was a very calm energy. And you resolved the issue, if that's the way I say it. But you stopped the bleeding. You handled it incredibly well, and you talked me through it. You described what was going on. And so my question is, how do you stay calm?
2 parts to that question. The reason you're hiring a birth attendant is for those moments. When everything goes smoothly, I could not be there. You sit on my hands, you catch your own baby, you don't bleed, placenta comes out. I don't have to be there. But we know that complications happen, and particularly hemorrhage has always been the biggest risk to childbirth for women for forever. It was the number 1 killer for women for forever. They would just bleed out of birth. So we didn't have meds to stop it. That was our biggest risk. So all these meds that have come to is like a game changer for childbirth safety.
Yes.
People always think about the baby afterwards. Like, yes, but they typically are a lot more resilient than adults involved.
Yeah.
For me as a midwife, my job, I get to see beautiful birth happens, but my actual work is keeping you safe. And so I'm always prepared for that. Even when things seem like they're going perfectly straightforward, I'm mentally prepared for it. As soon as this kid comes out, they're going to cry. They're going to be all excited. The real work starts right after. Yes. Staying calm, I think partly trauma response, which I learned during COVID. I took a trauma resilience class at the top of COVID. And they were describing different people's trauma responses. And apparently calm is one. And I was like, that tracks. Been in many situations where I'm like, it's like pause, can still think calmly, and still experiencing what everyone else is experiencing, but my response is just typically more calm. The other piece is, even when there's tough situations at birth, if I can talk you through it, it also helps. Yes. So for me, it works really well. It's one of my biggest pet peeves with other practitioners. People can be very competent in emergencies, but don't people well in emergencies. Yes, yes. And then to me, it's less. I mean, that's I'm less confident with you. And even in life, I'm like, my partner, I'm like, you think you're gonna be okay in those pocket lips, dude? I've seen you have a meltdown about your coffee.
That's what I was gonna ask you. How do you decompress from this amazing thing you do? I mean, it's really, I would think it's so high stress. But then when I see you, I saw you I had to come and do some blood work the other day, and there was a birth happening here. It reminded me of how I am when I come out of a hot yoga session. You were so calm, and there was a birth happening, And I said to you, will I hear screaming from the birth? And you're like, perhaps. Perhaps you will. And I was just like, what? It was so remarkable. It really is. And so I was curious, how do you decompress?
I love my bed. I love some good magnesium.
Yes.
And then afterwards, I'm I love water. A bath is good.
Chickens.
Have my chickens. I love sitting and being. So, in ways in which I can do that, that's great. So, reading, chickens, hanging out with them, lounging in the bed if it makes sense with the day. I love my couch.
Okay, I love this. When people come into your office and they meet you, what are the biggest misconceptions you hear about home birth?
People think we're anti-hospital. People don't realize we have things to treat. We can offer some of the same interventions that they want to avoid, but at home. Yeah. And it's not so much the intervention they want to avoid, but it's how they get to it and if they're included in the decision processing. Yes. And when they realize, yes, you can have Pitocin, and choose to have Pitocin because you have a history of a hemorrhage. Right. You get to make that choice. Right. And Pitocin's not the enemy. Yes. You feel like you didn't get to make the choice, and when you've heard about Pitocin becomes the enemy. Yes. And so people not realizing that I have all the same meds that the hospital has, just in a cute little bag. Bring it with me. Yes. People think it's really messy. Yours particularly was, but
that mattress. So the cover that we put on the mattress, we're this would be great, and then the blood was
Yours particularly was, but that's not usually the norm.
Yes.
I drove home on a little mat.
Oh my god.
It's great. I didn't have shoes on. I got home. I have a
great,
picture of like my scrubs and socks in the front yard. Particularly yours wasn't, but usually it's not that messy.
I thought the thing you shared about the umbilical cord getting wrapped around the neck was because our biggest concern was like, what do you do if the umbilical cord is wrapped around the baby's neck?
Mm-hmm.
And I thought your response to that was really interesting.
Yeah, I'm like, one, it happens quite often.
Yeah.
People don't realize it's like 40% of births. It's not a big deal.
Yes.
And then baby's not using their lungs.
Yeah.
They're like, it's not cutting off anything.
Mm-hmm.
It is it's very juicy, for lack of a better word, with the Ward's jelly, and so it's insulated, so they're still getting all their oxygenated blood.
Yes.
Doesn't usually impact things, and then we just loop it around them, take the little necklace off.
Yes.
Sorry.
That was fascinating to me.
Yeah.
When you said that, you were like, we just, with your consent, we reach up in there, and I was like, what?
It's like literally, it's like the head comes out, and then it's like you can feel the little necklace, and you're just like.
You're amazing.
And then remove it and they fall on out.
It's amazing. What is the moment that you knew you wanted to do this as a career?
I was definitely like 19 or 20. And it was been like 19 because a cousin and a girlfriend had babies as teen moms, and both of them had C-sections, and they couldn't tell me why. They couldn't like tell me what the doctor said. And I was just curious. I was like, what happened? And they're like, no. And I was like, interesting. And I remember thinking, like, they're 18. They should be able to pop up children out. Maybe socially, maybe they didn't want to have kids, but like physically, it should come out. What's going on there? And then them not being able to tell me. And I was like, interesting. And so I was just fascinated with that, like, reality of, like, what happened that they can't articulate why.
Yes.
And who didn't talk to them enough, who didn't explain it enough where they would know.
Yes.
And I started volunteering at a women's health information center where we talked about all your options, and everyone in the practice had to come down and talk to us at least once in their pregnancy. And we talked about doulas, and doulas didn't count against your visitor limit at the hospital. And I was like, who are these magic people that don't count against like your 3 people? Right. You still have a 4th, like sneak them in.
Yes.
And learned what they did with supporting people, really making sure people understood their choices, advocating for folks. And I was like, I want to do that. And then I was like, and I want to be the person who can really give options and not just talk about the options. Yes. I thought I was going to be an OB and then JK. And I was like, I'm a midwife. I can do that. Yes. And really give people options and choice and make sure they understand what's happening with their bodies. Yes. Like, I can't guarantee you a certain outcome, but I can guarantee you helped make that decision as much as you can control. Right. And you understood what was happening. Yes. And as much as I can, you felt safe the whole time.
Yes.
Yeah.
And because C-sections are like would you say like they're the most overused like intervention? Or
they can be with certain providers. Okay. I would say probably overuse would be the induction, which can increase your risk in cesarean. Yes. But C-sections are life-changing. Yeah. It's a great technology. Yeah. It just shouldn't be done willy-nilly. Yes. And when you find good providers who understand that, but also are capable of offering you a C-section, like our OB is amazing. It's like, she's going to fight for this vaginal birth as much as she can control. Yes. But when she's like, it's time for, you feel it, you know. You're like, yes, let's do this. Yes. And that's how you want to feel walking into your C-section. Sure. You don't want to feel like, are you like, you don't want to feel that going in, because you're going to be haunted by that postpartum, and that's the last thing you should be thinking about. Yes. You want to feel like, that didn't go as I planned, but I feel good about this. Yes. And I'm so grateful that it was an option. And like finding providers who help that echo that is just, it's amazing. And it changes how you feel about your body and your birth, even if it doesn't go how you want it.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Oh. Some of our transfers from the birth center whether ends in a C-section or
Mhm.
interventions they
Yeah.
originally didn't plan, have the most glowing reviews compared to the people who have
Yes.
births here, because I do a lot of the chats afterwards. So many rave reviews, and
Wow.
it's largely from the folks who transfer, and it is wild. But I was like, it speaks to that. It's like when they feel seen and
Yes.
heard, the outcome is less important.
Yes. Yes.
Like, it's obviously it's important, but it becomes less important,
Right.
and it's a thing that sticks with them a little less.
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
We all want to feel seen and understood, especially during the most important and vulnerable
Yes.
day ever.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you so much for being
so
here.
welcome.
Seriously, this is so, I mean, I definitely have like 1,000 questions, but I'm gonna respect your time, and thank you for
You're
everything.
welcome.
Thank you for giving me my little baby.
Of
I love
course.
it.
Oh, it's so cute.
Thank you.